Question 13 says a parallel plate capacitor has plate of length L, width W and separation of plates is D. It is connected to a battery of EMF V, a dielectric slab of the same thickness D and of dielectric constant K equal to 4 is being inserted between the plates of the capacitor. At what length of the slab inside plates will the energy stored in the capacitor be 2 times the initial energy stored? Well, the question is from the topic capacitors. The energy stored in the capacitor is given by the expression half CV square, and in this case the battery of EMF V remains connected in both the cases. So, that means if you look at the expression for the energy, since it is half CV square and V remains constant, so the energy is directly proportional to C. Let us put it here, the energy U is equal to half CV square and V remains constant. So, what is happening is when the dielectric is inserted, the capacitance increases, the energy has to become twice the initial value of energy, which means that the capacitance should become twice the initial value of capacitance. What is the expression for capacitance in this particular case? So, originally the capacitance, let us say, is C, and that is given as epsilon naught A by D. The value of A, the area of the plates, is in fact length multiplied by the width, that means it is L into W divided by D. And when the dielectric is inserted, suppose it is inserted for X length. So, in that case we can visualize the situation something like this. Say these are the plates and we have dielectric inserted up to this length. So, this length let us say is X, this length then becomes L minus X, is not it? So, we can see that the total capacitance is made up of 2 parts, one having dielectric and the other not having the dielectric. The net capacitance becomes C1 plus C2 if I call the C1 as the capacitance of the part having the dielectric and C2 as the capacitance of the part not having the dielectric. Let us write expressions for C1 and C2 in terms of X. So, if I call this part as C1, the C1 is then coming out as K, in fact the dielectric constant which is given as 4. So, 4 times epsilon naught. What is the area for this part? The area would be X into W. So, 4 epsilon naught X into W divided by D, and similarly the capacitance of the other part, that means the part which does not have a dielectric, we can write it as epsilon naught. For area now we have L minus X multiplied by W divided by D, and C1 plus C2 must be 2 times of C for the condition of the problem to be satisfied, for the energy on the capacitor to be twice its initial energy. So, which means we can now write the equation that epsilon naught L into W divided by D, this is the initial capacitance. So, twice of this is in fact equal to C1 plus C2, and if we calculate C1 plus C2 and do the manipulations, we get it as epsilon naught W divided by D, and then within brackets we have 4x plus L minus X. Solving this equation for X, so we get after solving this X as L divided by 3. Let us now check the options, and in fact option 4 is matching with our solution. So, option 4 is correct for question 13. Let us go to question number 14 now. Question 14 says the acceleration due to gravity on the earth's surface at the poles is g, and angular velocity of the earth about the axis passing through the pole is omega. An object is weighed at the equator and at a height h above the poles by using a spring balance. If the weights are found to be same, then h is, and h is very small compared to the radius of the earth. The question is based on gravitation and it is about variation of g. Now, if we look at the expression for acceleration due to gravity g at a point on the equator, we can say that it is equal to g, or rather g equator is equal to g in minus omega square into r. R being the radius of earth, omega is the angular speed of the earth about its axis which is passing to the poles. And this is same as the acceleration due to gravity at a height h above the poles. The expression for acceleration due to gravity at height h can be given as g into 1 minus 2h divided by r, but this is subject to the condition that h is very small compared to the radius, which in fact is given in the question. So, solving this, equating the two values of g, that is the condition of the problem, what do we get? We get omega square r is equal to 2gh divided by r, and this gives us the value of h as omega square into r square divided by 2g. Let us now check the options. H is omega square r square divided by 2g, it is matching with option 1. So, option 1 is correct for this particular question. It is time now to go to question number 15. Question 15 says a galvanometer is used in laboratory for detecting the null point in electrical experiments. If on passing a current of 6 milliampere, it produces a deflection of 2 degree, its figure of merit is close to. The question is from the topic current electricity and it is about moving coil galvanometers. What is the figure of merit? Figure of merit in fact is current divided by deflection. Now, there is a bit of inconsistency in the question. Here it is given in terms of degree, and if you look at the options, well, it is given in terms of division. So, we have to ignore this. Let us ignore this, and if we ignore this, the figure of merit then comes out as 6 milliampere divided by 2. Let us assume that it is 2 divisions because in all the options it is coming as division. So, we have it as 6 milliampere by 2 division, that means 3 into 10 to the power minus 3 ampere per division. Well, this is coming out as 3 into 10 to the power minus 3 ampere per division, and if we look at the options, it is clearly matching with option 3. So, option 3 is correct as far as question 15 is concerned. Let us go to question number 16 now.